If you didn't deliver on your writing goals this month, it is not the end of the world. I promise. I'm here to give you a little bit of a pep talk and maybe some perspective on not beating yourself up if it's looking like you're not gonna achieve your writing goals this month. In case you do not know, I am currently doing my own version of the Nanowrimo challenge on my own channel, mainly because of the controversies, and I wanted to give, people and writers in my programs and you guys, subscribers on my channel, a bit of a place to do it if you are not keen on supporting Nanowrimo right now, or if you're kind of taking a stand back from that, because that's okay, I totally get that. But yeah, we are also doing 20,000 words rather than 50,000 words, mainly because I'm not a huge fan of massively overly ambitious challenges, and that definitely feels like one to me. I am attempting to write 10,000 words today. I did do it once in the past and it worked, but it worked because I was really hyped for the project and I was a very naive writer, and most of what I wrote was slop. Like, it was gibberish, it was way overwritten prose, and yeah, it just took a lot of time, and I'm now rewriting that project from scratch and using maybe 5% of what I wrote in those 50,000 words back a couple of years ago. So again, yeah, not a huge fan of overly ambitious writing challenges where you force yourself to write too much. But in any case, let us jump into me trying to make you feel better. This video is literally just me trying to make you feel a little bit better if you were struggling this month and if you are beating yourself up about not doing as much as other people maybe seem to be doing. There is one thing that I want you to consider first, and that is, why did you start Nanowrimo this year? Was it because you were actually genuinely excited for it and pumped and ready to write and ready to work on your project and ready to finish your novel? Or was it because you were actually giving yourself a kick in the butt for not writing enough for the rest of the year, and this seemed like the right opportunity to make up for that? Because if you came at it from the second reason, boy, do I have harsh news for you. You probably just forced yourself into writing out of frustration with yourself and for not doing enough, or for not achieving enough this year, and you're jumping up on this challenge as an opportunity to prove to yourself that yes, you are a decent writer, and yes, you can write that many words in a month. That is not a good place to start from, not for a challenge that requires you to write 50,000 words. 50,000 words in a month is a lot. If you are going to attempt a challenge on this scale, of that size, of 50,000 words in a month, the only way you're going to deliver on that is if you start from a place of positivity and nurture and excitement and joy about the project that you're writing. Not because you're forcing yourself or because you're punishing yourself for not having written enough this year. That's the kind of mindset that's very unlikely to see you through to the finish line. Not only that, but when you start from that kind of mindset, you're only going to succeed in creating an unhealthy relationship with your writing. You're basically telling your brain, here, do this incredibly ambitious and overly demanding task that I've been building up guilt for a year and do it well and prove your worth to me. And you're probably also telling it, this is the last chance to prove yourself. This is going to determine my worth as a writer. And if you fail this, I'm going to be even more disappointed in you. Now, is that any way to treat your brain? Would you say that to your best friend who's attempting to write 50,000 words in a month? No, I don't think that you would. So why are you putting that much pressure on yourself? And why are you thinking that this is the last chance to prove yourself, and if you don't do it, you're not a good enough writer? The idea of failing at Nanowrimo or failing in any writing challenge is just so ridiculous to me, because how are you going to go and say that just because you wrote 40,000 words in a month and not 50, you failed at the writing challenge? How is writing 40,000 words a failure in any way? How is writing 20,000 words a failure in any way? Or even 5,000 words? Whatever amount you wrote during November, you should be proud of, and you should celebrate and be happy about it. Now, I told you that we set up a challenge to write 20,000 words this month. I have not yet written those 20,000 words. We are currently, as I'm recording this, on the 20th of November, so I have 10 days left, but I don't think I'm even halfway. I think I'm about 10,000 words into this challenge, which, yeah, technically, I'm behind on it. And so what? I do not actually care because I have written so much more than I've written last month, and I've written stuff that I'm actually proud of. So the sentences that I put down, I'm happy with. The exchanges, the progress, the scenes that are down on the page now that weren't the month before, they just make me happy and they make me proud of how far I've come, despite the fact that I probably won't reach the 20K mark exactly by the end of the month. That's okay by me. Even if I stopped right now and I didn't write a single word for the rest of the month, I would still be proud of myself and that progress. Because writing 10,000 words is not a failure in any book, pun intended. Now, the most important thing that I want to touch on in this video is one question that I will ask you, and I want you to answer it right now. When you sit down to write for this challenge this month, how do you feel when you are doing it? Are you full of dread and guilt and anxiety over trying to keep up with the goals that you set? Or are you actually enjoying the process of putting the words down on the page and rediscovering that joy for writing and your passion for it? Nothing is worth ruining your relationship to writing. If you feel bad when you write and you force yourself to do it anyway, you're not exactly doing yourself any favors. You're just gonna make writing seem that much more impossible for yourself in the future because you're going to think that you never reach your goals and you never write enough. No matter if you actually sat down and you actually wrote a lot more than you would have if you hadn't been doing this challenge. Now, I am gonna reveal a little secret that might make you feel a little bit better. I don't know, maybe it will, maybe it won't. 4,000 of those words that I wrote this month were actually fan fiction. And so what? I had fun. I love what I wrote. I had a great time. I'm really happy with what I wrote for both my self-indulgent fanfic and for my original project. I have genuinely enjoyed all of the words that I put down this month, and every time I sat down for a writing session, I actually wrote more than I thought that I would that day, and yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with how much I've been writing this month and how much I've been putting out. And I think that's the important thing, that my relationship with writing isn't suffering because I'm doing this challenge. I'm actually feeling more invigorated to keep writing, you know, even after November passes, even though I probably won't achieve the full 20,000 words. Maybe I will, because I am planning on actually doing a 10K in a day writing challenge, but just to see. Just like, I'm not a huge fan of massively overly ambitious challenges. So again, yeah, not a huge fan of overly ambitious writing challenges where you force yourself to write too much. How it's going to go, and honestly, literally just so that I can do a vlog about it. But yeah, no, I probably won't write those 10,000 words in a day. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But yeah, if you are interested in that, that vlog will be up hopefully next week. In any case, I'm not holding my breath. I'm happy with what I've done, and I want you to be happy with whatever you've done this month too. So tell me, how have you done for Nanowrimo this month? Share your struggles, share your wins. I would love to hear about it all in the comments. And I will challenge you to reflect on how much you wrote last month versus how much you wrote this month, and whether you feel like there was any progress, and to actually take whatever word count you have right now, put it down in the comments and celebrate. Give yourself a pat in the back for achieving however much you achieved this month, even if it was 500 words. That's 500 words that you wouldn't have had before this month. And also, this video should come out before we have our final live stream. That's going to be this Friday. So if you are feeling like you want to attend another write-in, even if you feel like you've maybe already given up on the challenge because you've fallen behind, this is a good chance to just show up and prove to yourself that you don't need to be doing crazy amounts of writing. You just need to be enjoying the process and enjoying what you're actually putting down on the page, even if it is not an impressive word count by any social media means. That doesn't matter. It can still be impressive to you, and it can still be a good way of keeping up that positive and nurturing vibe in your relationship with writing so that you actually want to do it again. So yeah, come to the live stream this Friday. I hope I can see you there. And yeah, I'll leave you with that. I really hope that you're not putting yourself down, and that you are going to be gentle to yourself for the rest of the month, even if you are deciding to bail out on the challenge early. That's totally okay. But yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye.